All right, thank you for joining. Today we'll go over Ethereum, the USDT on the Binance chart. Like always, very straightforward video. What I did was I went ahead and pulled the fixed range volume profile tool. For this range, as you can see, this was our previous range before. We ended up breaking out and creating another range above. We deviated below that range just slightly, like a failed auction, back testing the range lows before impulsing higher. So since this is going to be since this is a new range, I went ahead and pulled the fixed range volume profile tool so we can see where the value area high, value area low, and point of control for that range is. So with Ethereum, the point of control sits at around 2,500. That's just where the most volume has been traded. It looks ever since the beginning of the last year too as well, right? So from January 2024 up until now, the highest amount of volume that has been traded is at 2,500. It seems like a reasonable target. It's a little strange that price sold off and stopped right before that area. I guess there's just a ton of buy orders that was sitting, and that's why we had that little bounce there, as you can see. So a very clear demand zone. I would expect, what am I expecting next? We have this clear downtrend, right? You can even see it on the daily, but then as you can see locally, we have a smaller uptrend happening right now. If this uptrend continues, then I would be looking to target these highs at the very least at around 3,600. Just because of this market structure that we're seeing here, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I would be expecting yesterday's low to be defended to continue price to push upwards, right? We want to see the day flip green, and then it would increase my bias of seeing 3,600. Now we do have the rate cuts incoming this week. I think it's either coming today or tomorrow. So we might not get that much of a price action today, but after we hear the news, I believe we're going to see expansion to the upside. And if we do get expansion to the downside, I think it's just going to be quick, right? I think it's going to be something like this, come down, possibly tap the point of control, sweep last month's low, reclaim last week and last month's low before then rising back up to the upside, right? So we'll just see how this all plays out here. I do believe this is what to look forward for with ETH in the upcoming weeks. And if we do just get bullish price action, then yes, I'd expect a breakout, back test, and price continuation to then eventually target these highs, right? So what are we looking at when it comes to things being a little bit more local? So right now we can see the last lows of the previous days have been defended and new highs have been made. So if we go ahead and drop down to the 4 hour, you're looking at last week's low, last week's high, fair value gaps, massive wick to the downside, impulse higher, and price is just holding here, right? So if we are kind of expecting yesterday's low to be defended, well, maybe we just get a little bit of a retracement, 75% retracement. Taking out those lows seems to be in play, right? While still keeping that bullish market structure, protecting the lows. Excuse me. So that seems to be the highest probability trade in my opinion. This would also be the low for yesterday New York session. So there's going to be tons of liquidity below that low. All right, guess I got to upgrade my plan. Ran out of alerts. Let me actually go ahead and remove some. Let's go ahead and remove this one because I do like this low. So when comes to things being a little bit more local, actually maybe I'll keep this on here for future reference. I would like to see something like this, right? Maybe another sweep down for the early longs before continuing higher. So something like that seems to be in play. We're getting this grinding down action right now. Take your trend lines, draw it out. I want it to be nice and clean. You can put it up to there. Right, and just like that. So we can see if price breaks out of this trend line after hopefully taking this low. Yesterday's New York session low seems to be the draw on liquidity currently. So that's pretty much it for Ethereum, keeping it very straightforward, very simple. Very bullish week last week. We already tested the EQ of last week. As you can see, and the 618 of last week too as well. So very interesting wick to the downside. Buyers obviously stepped in. So yeah, I am leaning bullish overall locally. All right, until we lose these lows again. If we lose 2,900, then yeah, I would for sure be looking at 27, 26. But right now it is looking pretty bullish. Bitcoin is very similar. It's just in the middle of nowhere. But it did take yesterday's low, which is very interesting, right? So Ethereum did not take yesterday's low, but Bitcoin did. So that kind of shifts the narrative a little bit. It's still making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low. Maybe this was a liquidity grab before moving higher. I think that's what's going on here. But we just have to see, because as you can see, it's just been stuck in between these two demand zones. But I am still expecting higher price. As you can see here, massive amount of consolidation, right? And now we're trading above that, so that's bullish. We want to stay above this box for sure. Definitely want to stay above this box. So we'll see how this plays out in the next few days. Well, like I said, still bullish on Ethereum, still bullish on Bitcoin. We just need it to hold these key levels. But that is pretty much it. Remember to like and subscribe. All right, you can follow me on X. Make posts pretty often. Posted about this short power, which actually played out very nicely, right? Actually, I feel like I might have actually posted the wrong chart there, come to think of it. Let me see. Did I post the wrong chart? No. Okay. Because I was looking at Woo, and they basically did the same thing. So, as you can see, price is still selling off. I still expect lower prices. I still expect power to probably drop another 12% overall. And then when I was looking at Woo, it did the same thing, right into a daily demand zone, broke the trend line. You take the short, and yeah, even if you just took the short on this 30-minute close, you would be up 4%. So these trend lines are fantastic, leading into a support resistance area. Helps to build confidence. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much it for now. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. You know what to do. Thank you for joining. Take care.